My SIL, F37, is cheating on her husband, M37. I'm angry and guilty. Do you tell anyone? My wife and her sister are very close in age. My wife met her sister a couple weeks back when she was in a nearby city for a conference. They stayed at a hotel overnight. During that time, her sister told my wife she's been seeing an older man, 10-ish years older, secret phone, secret credit card, paying for every other hotel, etc. For 6 months or so. My wife was not pleased, and in no way condones the actions. My wife and I went out for drinks recently, and that's when she told me all this. The reason she brought it up is because she said she came home with an even greater appreciation of the life she and I have. So, I was pissed at the sister. It's left me with a pit of anger and guilt in my stomach since my wife told me. Hell, it's been hard to focus at work and such. I'm not sure why it's affecting me this much. We don't live near the sister. I'm not going to tell the brother-in-law, but that's part of what's eating me up. I would want to know if roles were reversed. We see them at major holidays and such. They have a daughter, and the sister travels a lot. How she met the older dude. Brother-in-law is the way better parent. And again, I think that's one of the parts that eats me up a bit. My wife doesn't plan on revealing it to the bill, so I won't either. But I can't get this anger, guilt to go away. Big edit. I love the responses. Thank you all. This has been very helpful. I did go speak with my wife. She understands my guilt and frustration and sadness. I told her I would not overstep. If she chooses to do something with the informations, I support it. If not, I live with the fallout. If there is one, let me pose a scenario to you all. This is why I have a hang-up. I think you have a sister. She's been married for a decade. You hate her husband. From the outside looking in, you think he manipulative. You've never gotten along, and you do not like this guy. And you've told her, but she chooses to stay for the family, and or just doesn't leave the situation. All of that is on my side of the family, and is true. The rest below is hypothetical. What if my sister came to me and said, I've been cheating on husband for months now, a guy that you hate, and a sister that you love, would you go tell the husband? My wife asked me that, and I didn't have a good answer. In my mind, I don't think I would tell him. That, ultimately, is my hang-up. I think it's based on the people involved. If I blow them up, then whatever fallout occurs, my wife becomes the bad person to her sister. Is that wrong? Yes, probably. But they're sisters, and it doesn't feel like my place. And however the family reacted, they're not my blood family. They're my in-laws. I love them. But what type of fallout does my wife and I incur, if any, by me blowing up the other sibling? Again, all just thoughts I've had since posting. I do appreciate all the replies and the perspectives. I'm still torn, but have had a good conversation with my wife. Oh, and I saw one post where my wife shouldn't have told me. I don't believe that at all. I want to know things that bother her, like this, even if it could become a burden to me, my thoughts. If you were being cheated on, would you want to know? I was being cheated. I cut out people out of my life who knew but kept silent. Type up a letter and send it anonymously. It's disrespectful to her husband. He has a right to know. It's good your wife told you, but is she supportive, hiding this affair for her sister from her bill? I would 100% sit down with your wife and convince her to tell her bill. Her sister is wrapping her up in her lies and infidelity, and it's really super selfish and not fair to your wife. It will likely damage the relationship with her sister a little, but I've been in this situation before and I told the truth. It's the right thing to do. People got over it. But the position I was put in was awful and I resented the hell out of the person who put me there. Until I made the right decision and told. The fact that you said you would want to know if it's you and you're not telling him says all I need to know about you. Many ways to tell this man that bothering is called a conscience. Create a brand new Proton Mail email account. Send your Bill an email, just stating that his wife is cheating and any detail you can provide. Don't sign it. Use a public email address, like a work one, not his private one if you have it. It could have come from one of her coworkers or anyone else. Going to be fun at Thanksgiving dinner at in-laws' house this year. Is part of what is bothering you maybe that your wife doesn't want to tell your Bill? So in some way you're thinking if she was cheating on you she would hide it from you and never come forward? I'm only asking because you mention it's deeply bothering you and I'm wondering if you're placing emphasis on your wife not coming forward with it to her Bill. You need to tell the Bill. I question your wife's character for keeping this a secret. It's wrong and I'm sure if you were in Bill's place, you would want to know. Unfortunate business to say the least. If it helps at all I believe the truth gets out sooner or later. Here's what I think. I think that, if my sister was cheating on her husband, I would certainly give her a verbal lashing and tell her to stop being a puss and be honest with her husband. Either get rid of the lover or let your husband be free of you. She is an adult, and I can only do so much. I have more loyalty to my own family and friends than I do my family, friends' spouses. That is a fact. I would not tell the spouse myself. I would do as much as I could to encourage my person to be honest and be a decent human. Though, I would definitely not let it go. I don't blame your wife for not telling Bill, but she should actively be encouraging her sister to be a good person. This is an unpopular opinion, but I really think you should let your wife manage her family. All the people saying that this is the right thing to do are correct. But the amount of blowback you're going to face here is tremendous. And ultimately, this is not your fight. This is her circus. Her monkeys. Her family will manage it however is best. I think it's worth a conversation with your wife to articulate why you're not happy with it and your discomfort. But that's specific to your marriage, not her sister. But please don't blow up your marriage based on Reddit indignation. Emo, your sister-in-law is wrong for sharing her indiscretions. Your wife should tell her to exclude her from further news briefs. You can't do anything. It's not your mess to fix or admit to knowing. I think you have a right to be upset and there are a lot of emotions at play. Firstly, the moral infidelity is bad. She is breaking the rules when it comes to her relationship with her husband. Telling your wife puts her in an awkward position as a sort of confidant and accomplice at this point. I'm sure you always felt if anything was amiss with your wife your SIL would tell you, but now her morally pure spirit is tainted and you can no longer trust her judgment. Also the aspect of the financial infidelity, that the SIL is going to great lengths to hide the actual monetary cost of this affair at the expense of her family. Then you have the grief that your wife, her family will at some point change for the worser, and that is tragic. I think lastly there is some anger at your wife that by not speaking up somehow condones what is going on and that makes you less trusting of her. I think your wife needs to confront her sister and tell her she would have rather not known. That she needs to cut the affair off or end her relationship with her husband and that she will not support her emotions while she is choosing him over her family. Just gonna throw this out there. You should talk to your wife before saying anything to Bill because sister confided in your wife. Which I would assume was in confidence, and if you do proceed without talking to your wife it could potentially complicate things further. I'm not in any way making excuses for not saying anything, but there's other people than just your feelings up, and you really need to think of the consequences of all parties that are innocent, including the child as well as the relationship your wife has with her sister. If your wife blesses you telling Bill, then by all means sing like a bird. However, if she doesn't, she may have her own reasons as to why you should hold off, and she may know more as to what's going on in her sister marriage that she hasn't told you. Then don't say anything even though it's eating you and making you angry. The other thing is, you may want to start trying to figure what it exactly that your SIL is doing that is making you feel these emotions that supposedly you wouldn't have otherwise. I know your wife doesn't intend to tell her Bill, but she is in the wrong. And instead of talking to her about it and telling her, you will tell Bill no matter what. You are trying to compromise on your morals, and that guilt is eating you up. Please don't ever compromise on your morals for anyone. The Bill deserves to know. He deserves to have a choice of what he wants to do. It doesn't matter if you are a blood relative or no. Your wife is so wrong for enabling this behavior. He deserves to know, and the right thing to do is to tell him. If you're honest, the anger stems from your wife condoning this by not saying anything. That is what she is doing, and by extension has now made you complicit. This is clearly against what you stand for, and there must be a voice in the back of your head asking why she is so willing to keep quiet if she feels the same as you. Can you trust her to not do the same to you? Just remember, if your wife will keep her sister's cheating a secret, then her sister will keep hers. If it happens, just remember that the next time they have an overnight together, buy a burner phone with minutes. Send a text. Break the phone and throw it away. Never ever speak of it again. Make sure the area code of the number isn't near you. You could also text one of his friends and his friends would tell him.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.